It is my pleasure to invite you to the second Lagos Private Wealth Conference. We are all here to talk about how we can ensure that generational wealth becomes a thing in Africa. Welcome, Bingbe Nkonchu, to tell us and give us an overview of the conference today. A round of applause. Yes.
I think Nigeria is perfect. One thing that we don't do well is actually transferring wealth from generation to generation.
Every entrepreneur that we act for and that I've met is immortal. They never think they're going to die. The point about managing succession is having some acceptance of reality. And that takes a certain level of humility. It takes a certain level of foresight.
What we can do is to really bring our children very early in the stage of helping to manage the company. You will also need to accept that they need to be accompanied in this process. So you have the right to independent directors or other trusted advisors that really help to put in place that relevant structure within which your family can really operate.
The founders also need to accept the fact that their children or the next generation may not run the business the way the founder's been running it, which does not mean that it's not efficient, which does not mean that they can't do a good job. It's just a different way of doing things. And we're seeing this more and more with next generation when it comes to adoption of AI, adoption of automation into the business processes. And it's a mindset shift.
You do not need to have children in the business. You certainly don't need to have uninterested children. Brackets, ungrateful children in the business. And I refer you to my having supper around the kitchen table point a moment ago. If they're not interested, give them something else to do, or give them nothing, and then they'll find something to do. The point about a sustainable business is that you are building something of value which grows value. And for that you need the appropriate external parties and the appropriate children to be involved.
Look, 90% of the world is passport poor. Think about it. Look at China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, most of Africa, most of Middle East. We have low mobility. As a high net worth person, you need to match your success with mobility. What good is wealth if you can't move with it? Mobility is that quiet force behind everything we value: education, healthcare, commerce, peace of mind. If your client's wealth is secure, but their family cannot access better education, healthcare, commerce, is the wealth working for them?
Alora City is born out of a very bold and long-term vision, which is held by Rendeavour, the developers of Alora City. Alora City launched in January of 2019. We have the largest deep-sea port in all of West Africa. It's not only been financed and built, it's been completed and has been operating for over 2 years.
The UK has recently abolished the non-domicile regime, which is a significant change for Nigerian families. The non-dom regime in the UK allowed those who were UK resident but not UK domicile, so those who did not have a permanent home in the UK, to effectively not face taxation on their offshore income. That has now changed. So if you are UK resident, the non-dom rules no longer apply, and you may be taxable in the UK on your worldwide income, and worldwide does very much mean worldwide. So by not understanding the changes that happen at a local level when you're making global decisions, you could expose yourself to unforeseen tax liabilities. And if we're thinking about the themes of this conference, generational wealth, legacy, families that go on for generations, one of the easiest ways to financially stifle that growth is to have an unforeseen tax bill, penalties and interest, which can significantly wipe out the size of your wealth.
Health is wealth. And I like to think of health in terms of an account. What deposits do you have to make? Look at the pillars of health. There are 5 things that form your deposits, that form what you need to be putting into your health account to make it a nice, juicy, buoyant account. Nutrition is the first thing. What you eat, because you literally become what you eat. The most common causes of death in the world: heart disease, cancers, strokes. What's the common thread here? What is it that, if you are going to attack one thing, would change the course of those problems? It's inflammation, chronic inflammation. What inflames your body? Your body is inflamed mostly by fat and sugar. Because whenever you eat anything, you're making a decision then. You're either eating to elevate yourself, or you're eating to tear yourself down some more. Most people eat passively, so you don't think about it. You want to start eating intentionally, purposefully, to elevate yourself. So there's no point acquiring wealth and eating passively. Whatever you want to have that you don't have, you have to do something differently. But you only do differently if you know differently.